Not pushing the button. That's how it goes. Didn't mean to rush you, Mrs. Ryan, but we're already behind schedule here.
I know, and I'm
starting
ready.
behind schedule.
I'm ready.
Oh, good. Well, hello, Mrs. Ryan. Hello, everybody else. Welcome back. Today is, good evening. This evening, tonight is Thursday, June 13th, 2019. My name is Jay Ryan. This is Nicole Ryan. We are the Ryans, and this is It's Tonight's show. This evening, our guest is a fella named Juan. Juan. Got a copy of his record right here. Juan. There you go. Going to be in here in a few minutes. Seems like a very nice fella. He's looking at me right now. He's well-dressed, well-groomed. He's got very nice manners. A little late, though. That's the only thing. If we're going to put down marks for anything. But that's LA traffic. Not much you can do about that. Mrs. Ryan?
Yes.
This is our Friday show. Thursday is our Friday, as everybody knows. Do you have anything for today, our big Thursday show?
No.
No. Oh, no. No. Nothing at all?
No. I'm just
How you feeling?
Feeling fine, put together, but I'm doing some work stuff, so it's throwing my brain off a little bit. But
That's good. You're keeping brain occupied. That's
keeping
great.
it. Once I get my stuff sorted out, I think I'll be okay.
Your outfit looks lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think everybody would agree there. That's all Hunziker stuff, too. Look at that. Shoes.
Yes.
McQueen Racing. That's great. I love giving I hope the Malibu Kitchen loved the McQueen stuff. They got a whole bundle of
I feel
care
like
package
she
from
will.
Hunziker.
Yeah.
I would like to quickly, it's Thursday, as we always do on Thursdays, we open up the old TBT. I may as well just get right to it.
Awesome.
Let's see. I don't remember where we are, so we'll just roll it how. We found the donut man. There's Mrs. Ryan, right over there. Good morning. Here we are, Sherwood one. Plus this little guy. Hi, buddy. He's all right.
Exactly.
Do you remember that day, Mrs. Ryan?
I really remember how cold it was.
Oh, it was cold.
Everyone
Wow,
was
that's
cold.
really
There
funny.
was a fire pit or something that I remember sitting next to.
No fire pit. There was our car was the only water-cooled car with all of those air-cooled cars.
Inside the wherever we were, they set up something that had
Oh, there was a
heat.
kerosene
Yeah.
heater type thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Those big glowing orange things.
Yeah.
That was one of the Sherwood runs.
Oh.
Sherwood runs. But noticing there, Barry, our good old friend Barry,
That guy.
the guy you're hugging in one of those photos, there was a lawn dart, like a football with a tail on it sticking out of his hood. I think that Eric Williams. I should say, by the way, yesterday I called him Eric Wilson, which is a problem. It's just somebody I used to work with. I call our friend Eric Wilson all the time. It's my own blunder. I used to work on Everybody Hates Chris with an editor named Eric Wilson, and it's just, for some reason, it's always what comes out. But Eric Williams is our good friend who drives the Golden Ticket and works at Sierra Madre Collection. Mrs. Ryan, I feel like I... but it's time to bring it back in a big way. It's time to check in with our good old friend Ray Schaefer. I'm calling this Life with Ray, but it's a backstage pass with Ray Schaefer. Roll it out.
Hello, Jay and Nicole. It is a beautiful Sunday morning here in Atlanta, so I'm about to open up that garage door and take this 2019 Boxster S out to do some exploring. Come on. I've used the app called Porsche Roadtrip. Have you seen that? Check it out. It's free to download. But it's navigated me to this point here up in Helen, Georgia. We're about to start a 50-mile loop. Should be a lot of fun. Get some great shots. Enjoy the ride. Now that view back here, this is why we love coming up the twisty roads to get to this point. Let's take a look at this view. Oh, the places a sports car can take us. The highest elevation in the state of Georgia. Looking north, North Carolina is just over that ridge. So all that mountain driving in a German sports car has made me hungry for German food. So we're going to go into Hoffers here in Helen, Georgia, get some great lunch, brunch, dinner, whatever you want to call it on a Sunday. Oh man, this looks good. Bavarian cream. Porsche still kills bugs fast.
That's how we did it. All right. That's how we wrapped it up. Oh, man. I love it. I love it. A day in the life of Ray Schaefer.
That was
Love
pretty
it.
rad, Ray.
Thank you. All right. Let's see. If not already, please consider following Ray Schaefer for your backstage pass to all things Porsche Classic, brand heritage, and travel-related material. That's Ray.Schaefer. Schaeffer. We love you, Ray Schaefer. That's great. Ray Schaefer from Porsche. What I noticed from that was didn't look all that dissimilar to what we do. So it's people say all the time, oh, well, sure, if I lived in California, well, oh, sure, if I was near Angeles Crest or if I had one of the... Yeah, that stuff's everywhere. Just to take the time to get away from your life and go take a Friday morning off or whatever and spend some time doing some little adventuring.
Take a minute and
Can be
explore
anywhere, yeah.
routes
Doesn't matter.
that aren't the freeway.
I love it. Mrs. Ryan, that's all I have, which means it's time to ask the question that's on everyone's mind.
Oh, yeah? Dun, 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 dun.
What's going on, Mrs. Ryan? Dun.
Carnivorous plants may eat more salamanders than biologists previously thought. Botanist. Yep. Here's the thing. The Venus flytrap and then Stranger Things, the thing that comes out sometimes looks like it to me.
Okay. The Demogorgon or whatever, but yeah, a Venus flytrap was more like this. It was like this, and if I lands on it,
Right. Well,
like more like a Little Shop of Horrors, like Audrey 2.
that's the one. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not as coincidental and accidental as I grew up thinking it was. Like, oh, bugs just fly in and oopsie daisy, and then they whatever.
You thought it was accidental as a kid? You thought
That's
that
what
was
I
a
was
weird
taught.
chance thing?
Like, oops, the fly gets stuck in it when it goes by.
Right.
By accident.
No. Oh boy. Okay, no, that's all right.
That's what I was taught.
This is what we're up against. All right, now I
This is
understand.
what we're up against. But turns out they actually they make pollen. They pollinate their own flower for the bugs they want. So they put out something that salamanders like.
Oh, I see.
I don't know. 20% of the plants they found had them in it. So that was a lot.
Yeah, it is.
It's just crazy to me to think about.
It is. There were a couple facets there to that one. The story
Did I
and
jump
then
over it?
No. I just got hung up on how little you knew about the ecology and the nature aspect of it.
Oh.
But now that I do, fantastic.
Okie doke.
You know, this is the thing we got to keep rolling, right? It's a train. There's momentum. Do you know about that? Do you feel that at all?
Yeah, I'm the worst.
No.
At that.
I'm curious if you feel it or not.
Oh, I feel it.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to cut back. Congratulations to the St. Louis Blues for winning the first Stanley Cup ever in their 52-year franchise.
Oh, I thought it was 49 years. 52 years. Wow. That's a big deal.
And they beat the Boston Bruins, who are like Hockey Town, USA. So
Hockey Town, USA.
Kudos. Stoked for you guys.
Mrs. Ryan used to play hockey at University of Michigan, and you grew up with a hockey family and in a hockey area, Rochester, New York. It's almost Canada.
It's very close, yeah.
So that one's close to you.
So, yes, it is. Carnival Cruises has a comedy web series for their people, like in their groups and stuff. It's a 7-episode series hosted by James Vanderbeek.
Oh, so my good. Dawson.
Dawson's Creek.
Is this open to anybody, or do you have to be on a Carnival cruise? Is this, you know what I mean? Is it closed circuit on the boats, or can we get it on YouTube?
As far as I know, it's you can find. You have to search to find it unless you're already a member of their social media groups where they're promoting it. But you can find it. 7 episodes, and it's going to be who they pick to headline their shows. Whatever. Last, Ray Schaefer.
Huh?
I couldn't help but think of you guys and Ramsey.
Ramsey Potts. It's Ramsey.
Ramsey
Potts, everybody.
Potts!
Oh, love Ramsey Potts.
They're going to
RM
auction
Sotheby's.
off RM Sotheby's is going to auction off one of the James Bond cars this summer.
Oh, no kidding. Which one?
From the third movie, Goldfinger.
What kind
with
of car?
Sean Connery.
Oh, Goldfinger. So it's the Aston Martin DB5.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah,
It's
one of
bulletproof glass and the smoke screen and all that stuff. That had
Apparently.
nails it could release too, or is that Dukes of Hazzard? I can't remember.
I think that's Dukes of Hazzard. This one has a machine gun on it.
Oh yeah, sure, of course.
But all the pieces are usable, so it's on the block for $4 to $6 million. They're saying.
Yeah, I bet it'll go more.
I think so
It's
too.
the actual movie car from the movie. It's not a replica. Yeah, I bet it'll go more.
Yeah. So
Just because it's James
go
Bond.
to town, Ramsey
Aston Martin.
Potts.
I mean, that car alone is worth a lot of money, even if it's not the James Bond one.
Oh,
you know?
if it's not a movie car,
It's already not that valuable, but it's already very valuable. So I would imagine the James Bond connection is probably pretty big. It's like it was one of the most famous cars in the world for a long, long time.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Have fun, Ramsey.
Oh, and that's been What's Going On, Mrs. Ryan? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, lovely. It's time to take a break. Got our guest in here. I think we have a clip. I was going to play it while our guest is here, but I think in the name of time, we'll play it during the break, and then when our guest gets in here, we'll talk about it.
Great.
And then in the meantime, you get a little bit an opportunity to get to know Juan. We'll be back in just a minute. That is your real name, right? That's not just your. Yeah, fantastic. He's all quiet, it's very respectful. You're gonna like this guy. John Juan will be in here. He's very handsome too. You'll see. John Juan will be in here in just a moment. Here is a clip of one of his videos. One of his. This is a music video I'm gonna play, probably, right? Probably. Actually, I'm not sure what all right. Play. I'm not in that case, more to come right after this. John Juan in that chair. See you in a few.
Sticking like a good dog, drinking in the lap of my farmer after all day working. Sedated, I work all day today. Oh, waking my head is aching. Loving pink sky, thank God I'm plowing. Ease my pain, I work so well done now. I'm a good dog, me and my habits, but I can't contain. I ain't never caught a rabbit, no. Hey, 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 hey. How could that boy with everything that he's got walk his old mama to the chopping block? I said, hey, 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 hey. Wouldn't you flip if the dog started talking, and wouldn't you trip if on two legs he was walking? I was in the barn, happy and willing, till I looked up at the house and I got these feelings. Oh, oh. The day I stopped smoking, binge drinking, and backslap joking. I dreamt all night, so vivid, so clear, so real. Woke up in the sweat, my taste was keen. Everything else was like a surreal dream. Happy hour sushi tasted so fishy and sick. I'm a good dog, me and my habits, but I can't contain. I ain't never caught a rabbit, no. Hey, 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 hey. That boy with everything that he's got walk his old mama to the chopping block. I said, hey, 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 hey. Would you flip if your dog started talking, and wouldn't you trip if on two legs he was walking? I was in the barn, happy and willing, till I looked up at the house and I got these feelings. Oh, oh. Truly, truly my true love. There's no or doesn't love. And truly, truly my brother. There's no or doesn't love, 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 love. And truly, truly my mother. There's no or does in love.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, well, he's sitting here. Oh, Jordan the Lion, you know him too. Oh, my goodness gracious.
You did the video.
I did. Oh, he did?
Yeah.
No kidding. All right, well, that's it. We are back. Bring that microphone up to you there. We're sitting here with John Juan. What's happening, man?
Great to be here. Thanks, Nicole and Jay. I like hearing you're from U of M as your alma mater. That's my mom's.
Yeah?
And
Is it really? No kidding.
Yeah. And you guys were great cover-up. Yeah, it's not just a line. And great cover-up on me being late. The traffic thing, I use that all the time. I'm an air conditioning contractor in LA, so a good one.
We should talk again. That was your album. Was that a song that we just, the music video we just watched, was that a song that's on this album?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the first song on the record there.
I had seen that previously, so as I mentioned, we were walking through it. But what can you tell us about the video we just saw?
Well,
You said Jordan the Lion with somebody who's been on this show.
Yeah, you saw the credit there, and obviously he came to mind. Jordan filmed that video for me in the old abandoned zoo in the old LA
the old
zoo.
LA Zoo where they do the haunted houses and stuff.
Yeah.
So you were in like a gorilla cage or something, or a bear cage or something?
It was labeled a lion cage.
Lion cage, of course.
So it was a lot of fun going in there because I'd never been up there. There's all these trails around there, and I want to explore it more. But Jordan just had this idea. He was hiking around, and he does these gorilla videos very quickly. We just went up there. We did 2 takes of it. I had a blast just jumping around like a monkey in that lion cage. And
it's open to the public, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anybody can hike up there or whatever, up in Griffith Park.
And there's certain ones that have been closed up, and there's certain ones that have been maybe bootleg opened up.
Oh, I see. Okay, sure.
And but it's there to explore for sure.
Cool.
That's cool. You're not from LA. You're from, actually, no, I read how about this? Where are you from?
Yeah,
You've got an interesting story here. Where are you from?
I was actually born in Hong Kong, of all places.
What?
That's a big deal.
And lived in Japan as a young guy to the age of 5. So I'm known in Asia, by the way, as John Wong. But actually, I say John Juan all the time, and people say, "How's that spelled, with a W?"
Oh yeah, sure.
And
you have to say Juan.
Exactly. So
John Juan.
That's how I clarify it. Yes, John Juan.
Soft J.
You know all about the JJ.
Soft J, of course. Yeah, I am a soft J.
And then I lived in Baltimore, Maryland for a few years.
Where did you live in Baltimore? I know a little bit about that.
Oh, Towson? Do you know?
Yeah, I do. There's a college there. My cousin went to it. Had a full scholarship.
Yep, county.
That's so
right
funny.
out there.
There's I used to go to the Towson Town Center or Towson Mall, whatever. There was a mall there.
Yeah,
is it Goucher College is over there? Goucher? Is that the right one, or I had the wrong
all
one?
I remember about Balmer is the Beltway.
And Inner Harbor. Did you ever go down to the Inner Harbor?
Oh, I
Look at
loved
the
it down there as a
aquarium
kid.
and
Like I still remember that, like the aquarium, the Fort Point, where we won
Fells Point.
Won
Right?
our independence.
Yeah, right. Fort Adams or Fort McHenry.
Yes.
Boy, look at this. Look at us go right there on the Chesapeake Bay. I used to catch crabs as a little kid out of that bay. My grandfather taught me how.
Sorry to just run away to the past here,
You took me down a whole
I remember
route.
having my birthday party with all the kids on the fort, and we thought it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool, man. All right, so then you lived in Baltimore for a spell.
And then San Diego mostly, since I was 8 years old.
And that's what we see here before us, right? I don't see Hong Kong or Towson, Maryland.
It's all in there, man.
It is. I know the feeling.
But yeah, I feel like I did, San Diego, is a great place to be. I don't know why I'm not there right now,
The traffic sucks, that's why.
San Diego did double in population since I left it.
Since you left it. So
Yeah.
you live up here in LA now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I went to UCLA up here and
I thought we were done at San Diego.
found
Okay.
my wife, and then now, then here I am.
Can we talk about her?
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
What's your wife like? What's your wife's name? Tell us what she does.
Oh my
Tell
goodness!
us how you met.
my wife is kind of a big deal. She has something called June Cleaver is Dead. She's an advertiser, and she discovered that the advertising is not focused on mothers, but mothers make the majority of the buying decisions in America. And so she has this platform, and then she also has something called the Motherboard, which is a group of women that are particularly mothers, not just heterosexual mothers, but just all kinds of mothers, single mothers, married mothers.
So this is an organization,
and that they do statistics for advertising and stuff like that. So she's
great.
president of an advertising company called Wong Duty.
You're making that up.
And I am not making
Because
this
of
up.
your own jokes, I'm just assuming that you're making this up. You're now working your wife's career into your humor.
I know that. The
What?
truth is the funniest stuff out there.
What is it? What is it really though? Wong?
Yep, and they left off one of their partners' names, Wong, and Duty. So one is Patrick Wong, and
Now we have a Patrick Long in our circle. That's not a joke. He's a famous race car driver and a Porsche owner. So it's just getting deeper. All right, so Patrick Wong.
Love it. And
somebody Duty.
There's a Pat Duty and Tracy Wong, and then there's a third owner
So
that they
interesting.
didn't put on the
masthead?
partner name because they thought it would be a little bit too over the top.
Let's hear it.
His name's Ben Wiener.
Oh yeah.
So
Wong?
Wong Judy Wiener. it should
Yeah.
be.
That's a mouthful, so to speak.
And that's why June Cleaver doesn't make the decisions anymore. Although no, but June Cleaver does make the decisions, but it's not June Cleaver anymore.
Right.
The mother makes
she's
the
not,
decision.
Right. She's not. She's no longer just smiling depicted smiling
course,
in the
Ward.
kitchen. Normally it's a white woman.
Why am I drawing a blank here? I keep wanting to say Florence Henderson, but that's the Brady Bunch. What was the name of the mom on that?
Oh,
Who was
gosh.
June Cleaver?
I'm
Drawing a blank. She was in Airplane as well.
I'm not as good with the actor names
Oh,
and
okay.
stuff like that.
Oh, you brought her up. I'm just.
But Jordan, the guy who did my video that you guys know,
Yeah, he's great.
He would know right away.
He would know. He's got an encyclopedic brain, and he's somehow got the Rolodex at a massive speed because he
Oh,
could
yeah,
flip
it's
through
incredible.
stuff so much faster than I was able to keep up. All right, but you.
Yes.
I want to talk more about you. Your wife's got a neat job and stuff. How did you guys meet?
On the dance floor in
Come
college.
on.
This is true. This is true. It was a pajama party. We were both in our pajamas. And I felt very uncomfortable because we were wearing the same shoes. They were like Adidas sneakers. I'm like, am I wearing girls' shoes? What does she
Right.
think about this? And I don't know, but that's just
Obviously
that's
it
just how
worked out.
happens. Yes. I don't know how it works out with these days where you try to find someone that you're going to be compatible with on interest and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where you pre-screen it in the front. I mean,
How does it work?
I don't know because I didn't know anything about this woman when I met her, and
that's
now
so wild.
just the old-fashioned way on the dance floor, my pajamas.
How long has it been? You said college, but I don't know how old you are.
Been,
You look young.
We've been married for 12 years.
Oh my
now.
gosh.
Whoa.
You really do look like a kid. You must
Oh,
get that
thank
a
you.
lot.
Too kind.
You look
You
young.
must get that a lot, though.
Well, I do. I've got it more actually in the past. As bizarre as this is, in the past 4 years since I started playing music again, because
The older I get, the younger
I kind of quit for a while, and I was about 30 pounds heavier, and I started doing music again, and people just and it wasn't just my weight. People were just like, you look younger.
Do you think maybe you're doing what you're supposed to be doing? Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like universally?
Absolutely, and
And do you think that maybe played a role? Because I found that like you almost get to a universal weight of like it doesn't matter what you eat or whatever. It's kind of like once you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you just kind of get taken care of almost in the weirdest way.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, universe does, I believe, very much so have callings for us, and you feel that, the weight of the universe come on, and you gotta respond to it. And sometimes we want to fight against it too.
Struggle.
Absolutely, for one reason or for the other. And I've been very much the scientific approach kind of person, but I got, as we discussed, I got my wife, I got married, I had kids, and then I decided I was just going to be this, I was going to really be this noble guy and sacrifice everything for the family and my kids and be this real martyr guy.
Your face does not match the words that you're talking.
I had these terrible headaches. I started getting migraine headaches all the time. I did very well in my job, but I was pretty miserable and angry about it.
Destroying yourself in the process, right?
Yes, and then my wife has a friend of hers who's, I've always known her. She's always been around, always been an acquaintance. But she looked at me and she has. I figured out she has psychic powers, and she said to me, "John, I know about your headaches. They're terrible. I feel them. I know about them. I know why they are. If you start playing music again, they'll stop." I was like, "Hey, that sounds a little too easy to me," but she's like, "Just let me meet with you."
How did you receive that information? Forgive me. How did you, this broad's crazy,
what I
or
was
were you
doing-
like, wait, that feels right, or what was your state?
Well, at the time I was kind of like this at the dinner table because I was with my wife and her girlfriend were talking, and I was did a long day, watching the kids at night at work, and I was just kind of falling asleep there, and she brings this up to me out of nowhere, and I just kind of woke up. I was like, how did she know this? Like, I don't even tell people because I'm ashamed
Wow.
of it. Like I'm getting these headaches till I'm sick and incapacitated.
Were you having one at that moment when you were kind of nodding out at the table, or did she just, you know what I mean?
Knew.
Like,
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I wasn't. She knew. Wow. And she has she has a source from the universe. She says they say, or I hear that, and it's incredibly accurate, and it just it blew my mind because she was talking about all these things that she shouldn't know that she was told, and stuff from my past, even family members.
So she was laying it on thick enough that she was going to get you first try. Like, it wasn't like, we're going to have 5 of these sessions, and at the end, you're going to believe what I'm saying. This is like, I'm just going to give it to him because he needs it right now, whatever this is.
I took a list of notes on what she told me, actually, and in my book that accompanies the record, just to drop this in on on you, there's I write down my whole list of stuff that she tells me.
Can I hold this?
And it's
Go ahead.
And it's really bizarre because, it's something that like,
Nuts.
When you figure out like,
Looks familiar.
when Dumbo, figures out an elephant can fly, the
belief is there, right?
He's like, okay, there's something there. He doesn't know how to do it yet, but
it's possible.
But it's possible. He's like, whoa, there's something out here that I don't know about, and it's so funny because getting after I got one fortune, I didn't want to really get another one because she gives me. You get all these hints, and you get led in the wrong places. You start making up. I start making up associations that this is the person that she's talking about.
You're making blank connections.
But it's not this Kevin.
Yep.
It's this Kevin over here or something like that.
Yeah.
And
that's what we as people do, right? We
you guys know Kevin. There's a Kevin written down here, and I thought forever it was this drummer of mine, and the producer guy is named Kevin. And
it's the Kevin we know.
It's not that Kevin. Then Kevin just suddenly
shows
up. I'm like, oh, that must be that Kevin. I've been looking in the wrong. But everything populates. Everything shows up here eventually, and none of it happens the way I presumed it would happen. So in the end, it really doesn't. Going out and getting your fortune's not going to really help you out with your daily process. But it could. Maybe give you some insight to there's something more out there than we regularly explain on a daily basis and what scientists have figured out already.
Yeah, I agree.
So sorry about that. It's a long monologue tangent.
It's
there.
wonderful. It's wonderful. I can't remember how we got to it. I can't remember how we got to it, but it's wonderful.
Jordan the Lion shot that music video.
It's a little too far back.
Something about looking. You're just giving me a regular smoke line. Oh, you look young.
Yeah, that's what.
I said I'm looking younger lately, and people have.
But I'm because of doing living your purpose almost, so to speak. I never believed in any of that stuff. I really didn't. And then one day, kind of a switch flips. In our case, it was like I told you before. Life changes and whatever. And then all of a sudden you get that perspective, and it's just like, oh, this light wasn't on the whole time? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
Often you can get perspective doing just like your friend Schaefer's doing there, or your guest. You guys are in that car club too, are you? Or?
He's works at Porsche corporate, so we're friends.
But just getting out on the road can often just give you just that break from your daily routine, right? The stimulation of the light, the sounds, out of your daily routine.
All the stuff people are zoomed in on all the time, right?
And those things are very important to help us get through our daily process, because otherwise we'd be floating around, and I'd be listening for the songs of Juan everywhere all the time, and my wife and kids would not appreciate that, I don't think.
I would like to very quickly here, just because I recognize this. This is your logo, I'm assuming.
Yes.
For everybody else. But it's a play on. Is it Horner? Why does this look so familiar to me? Is it the Horn logo that looks familiar to me? This is a play on something else, obviously.
You know what? It's my brother-in-law's wife. I guess my sister-in-law. She made that logo for me. She knew the trumpet was a major part of John Juan for me because I didn't play the trumpet before.
Yeah, I
And
thought this was a little odd because your music video, you were not playing the trumpet, and yet this is on the face of.
Good Dog we were thinking we should have brought the trumpet to the cages that day because Good Dog definitely has a trumpet line in it. And
the song, yeah.
Yep. And so she knew the trumpet meant a lot to me, and so she just made the John Juan logo with the trumpet, and I really appreciate it because it's kind of like one of my magical objects, the trumpet, because I didn't play before, but if you hear me play on the record and stuff, I play like I've played in a past life.
Really?
Yes.
That's a hard instrument.
That's the tether again.
We actually
No,
had hired another person to do the trumpet parts on the record because I had always imagined them when I heard these songs. I did them all on MIDI. I went to go hire someone. It didn't sound like I thought it was supposed to. And then I was on a surf trip I talk about in my book, and then someone tells me about this guy I need to go see who's got one of my something of mine.
Oh.
And I don't know what it is, and he it turns out he's one of the things is this trumpet that I buy off him when I'm out there and when we're just
You had no
joking
intention
around.
of buying a trumpet at this point, I'm assuming?
No, and
You don't play the trumpet at this point?
No, but I've always wanted to.
Sure.
And I've always imagined it.
wild.
And I kind of when I got it first and I took it home and squawked away for a while, it wasn't there at first, but then it just all locked in. And then I talk about it in my book to accompany the record. There's I talk about kind of the history of divine influence in songwriting, getting ahead of myself, never sleeping. I don't sleep very much, so I equate dream catching to song catching. It's a very scientific fact, dream catching.
Opening up the flow kind of thing, right? Just being present, going nowhere almost to let the tunnel be clear.
And we all know things. You see things happen in dreams before they actually happen. And then I go. Part 3 is it gets a little bit more fun and readable, less philosophical. In my book is the past lives of John Juan. But one of them is where I discover that I used to be this boy who played the trumpet.
Come on. How did you discover that? What was the path we should read the book? We should, I guess, buy the album, buy the book.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's probably the best way
But
to
you
do
know
it.
what? Memories are often stored in physical objects. And there's a science to this now that scientists are finding. They have a term for it. It's slipping my mind.
I can't think of it either, but I know exactly what you're talking
Right
about.
now.
Specifically metals they can really get into.
And that's what I found out with my instruments. I just used to play in guitar rock bands, 6-string guitar rock bands, but I started playing all these other instruments I found, and they all gave me different songs and different
That's
sounds.
amazing.
And then that's why I started freaking out with my book. That's completely unmarketable. Hardly anyone will read it. But there's tons of famous writers, scientists, Einstein, and all these people who find evidence of this stuff. How does a fish who ends up in the ocean know to go upstream and up all these waterfalls to go? There's some physical evidence left places. That's why I always use instruments now. I find instruments. In my fortune, I was actually told to go dig around used instrument shops. And I started playing ukuleles. I have my first ukulele. You said metal. You're starting to get my mind moving, Jay. It was a metal ukulele. It was a banjo, little metal cast banjolele. And
Is that a thing, a banjolele? I've never heard of that before.
It's a banjo/ukulele.
Well, I put it together. Sure. I did the math. I never heard of that instrument.
And I wish I had brought that with me, but it's on the cover of my record there. If you look at it,
I
that's
did see it in
that's
the
why I
water.
can be in the water with it.
I noticed that too, and I thought it was what a small little banjo. You on here also you play the dobro. Now,
Yes,
that is something I always
solid
described
metal.
as like a metal guitar because it looks like a guitar, but it's got a hubcap on it. That's what it looks like. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's a very obtuse fucking description, but
I love it.
Are you going
As
to
a
play a
car
little bit
guy.
of the ukulele? Yeah, right. Are you going to play a little bit of the ukulele for
Oh,
us?
sure.
I don't mean to cut off your story, but I want to
Sure.
make sure that happens today.
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
And I was going to play. Should I play? I was going to play Good Dog, but you guys already played that one. So.
Oh, well.
So
sorry.
maybe I should do another one.
That was
What
the
do
clip
think?
you guys brought.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think. Should I play? I'll play something different since you guys have already heard that one.
And will that be okay, or do you need another mic for the thing? It should be okay, right?
Oh, it should be okay.
Great.
Let's see. This is another one off the record. It's called Happiness. Try and fail, I tried and failed, oh yeah. How I tried, oh, and how I failed. When I was down, the ones I love told me to pick something up and then kick me in the balls, oh yeah. You ever try, 'cause I know you failed, but if you ever did all, then you'd find that it all seems to come together. Happiness, happiness, thanks for the failure. It all seems to come together. Happiness, happiness, thanks for the failure. And bum 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 ba da da la 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 la. No trumpet today. La ba 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 da 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 da. Ba 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 da da la 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 la. La ba 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 da la ba 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 da. You ever fail, then wear it on your face. Just last week I had a taste, oh, I was too drunk, I admit too stoned, I couldn't connect with the crowd, I felt so alone, oh, try and fail, I tried and failed, how I tried, oh, and when I failed, then it all seems to come together. Happiness, happiness, thanks for the failure. It all seems to come together. Happiness, happiness, thanks for the failure. And ba 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 da da la 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 la. La 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 la. Ba 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 da da la 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 la. La ba 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 da la da 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 ba la.
Love it. That's so cool, man.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's so cool. Not only do I love the music and the vibes and everything, but you're quite good. I felt like Jeff Buckley was sitting here. There's a little Jeff Buckley in there.
All right.
Right? I mean, he's there. There's the same amount of emotion in the music.
I mean, I'm a huge Jeff Buckley fan, and I will take that as a major
I don't mean that you sounded like
compliment.
him or anything like that. I just meant, you know what I mean? There was something that, for whatever reason, those are the words I chose to. I'm like, oh, that's what it felt like.
Well,
to me.
you know, I get goosebumps when you say that. I feel all the musicians that have gone are still.
That's what I was going to say.
Are still with
it's
us.
Possible, right?
And in fact, just because you brought that up, we'll mention the whole John Juan thing.
Please, how the name came about? I was going to ask. Let's hear it.
John Juan is the name of the entity that gives me the songs. I call him John Juan. And what started happening...
This is a creative tether you're talking about, right? Wherever the
It
ideas
is,
are
you
beamed
know?
from, whatever that is.
Buckley's with us, Petty's with us, and they found
Those two good guys.
their songs. I was just in Prince's place in Minnesota, and
Yeah, you dropped that bomb.
and he talks about receiving, you know, songs too, and you know how they you know, the muse, and this my whole book is about about the divine influence in poetry is called. So I talk about how all these famous poets and writers get divine influence. So it's not just me talking about it.
Right.
It's
Not just
all
your
in
thing.
the bibliography. And so John Juan eventually, like, people knew about my concept, and whenever I started doing like a really good like surf move, like I got a really good wave, or made a good basketball play, people would be like, John Juan. And,
Bring
or I'm a heating and air conditioning contractor, so I give high fives to the guys on the crew and stuff, and like everyone just started calling me John Juan. Started playing shows around locally, and just people just started calling me John Juan. So now,
Are you actually a John or a Juan?
I am. My actual name is John Matson.
Oh, okay.
So it's okay. I reveal
you're
in
John
my
Juan
reveal in my book just to, when I get too far into things, to talk about the whole separation of the artist and the person, but in the music world, just for the pure simple joy of songs, I just go by John Juan.
Yeah. The book that accompanies your album. Is it almost a more elaborate way of telling your story? Is it like what liner notes used to be in the old days?
Absolutely. You know what? And when I did this, I didn't know how to do it, because I remember when digital records first came out, they would include a digital booklet.
Mm-hmm. That sucked.
And
There was nowhere to keep it.
there's
Okay.
nowhere to keep it. There's nowhere to publish
Part of it is
it.
flipping through it. That's part of it. Listening to the thing and flipping through it at the same. For me, anyway, as I was a kid, it was you buy the CD, you go home, you listen to it, and then read the thing along or whatever. I used to love doing that.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to do, but it's hard to distribute the book with the.
Do they
since
come
older
together?
Formats are.
Do they come together, or is it like a video game where you
Well,
got to
what
buy
it
one and
is
then buy the other as a
if you
companion?
download it off johnjuanmusic.com, the book comes down as automatic
Oh, okay.
with the download off an independent site. But otherwise, I if anyone out there is a talented media person, will you please help me figure out how to get people to read my book as well as listen to the music?
Well, we should probably work on the cover, I guess, for one, because as of right now, it's a little boring.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cover
and
would
this,
be great.
And this is my manuscript that I'll leave you guys with. Of course, I use the album as the cover, but
But
do
the
have
material's all in there.
a lot of pictures, a lot of quotes from famous poets and artists who talk about this John, what I call John Juan, who gives the songs. And part 1 is up there, which is the drier history part. I believe the joy is in songs and what you guys do, like in real videos, making people feel things is the most important. So this here is I'm trying to explain it.
Yes.
So it's not. This
is your primer almost.
It's more of an intellectual kind of thing, but the best is to make people feel things. Eventually, I get out of the intellectual part and I make people feel things and its stories and everything at the end.
It almost seems like this is more the primer for John Juan, though. It's kind of like, this is how you get to know me, and then once you do, I'll make more stuff, and we're gonna have a great long life together.
Is laying down the whole the whole
The Rosetta
philosophy.
Stone so much.
And it took a while for me to put together the bibliography and find all these writers. But once they kind of lay it out, make it true for everybody, then I can then we can have a lot of fun.
Confirm all your
with it.
sources.
Yeah.
Well, what is the goal? What's the long-term goal? Now, the music, I believe, like, I was very, you can probably tell there's no bullshit that goes on here. So I do believe, like, oh, you're doing your calling now. So this you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Thank you.
Where does it go? What does it do? Is it only fulfilling for you? Because I struggle with the same thing here. It's
Oh
like,
my
oh, this is fun and it's great and we're doing something and we feel good about what we're putting out there. But what's the goal?
I love the real question there. When I used to play in bands and stuff when I was younger, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was to be like a rock star or something
misguided,
like that. Sure. But I really feel now that I've discovered these songs are available to me, and all I have to do is put myself in the right frame of mind and pull them down. I really just want to focus on songwriting. I can perform and I can play all these instruments, but I really want to give my songs to. They're great songs that should go to a better performance vehicle. I would love to get into like a big excellent female pop star.
Sure.
I want to give some songs to.
I get it, though.
like
You're more of a
LP, for
communicator. You want to
example.
get the message out there.
Yep,
You don't care about being the guy at the microphone with the rock star and the whole thing. That's not important.
Exactly. Now that I've discovered the music, I really want to do my service to the universe and collect how much of them, give them the best musicians, and help other musicians find the music. And that's what this crazed book is kind of a little bit about, is giving people clues.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, any religion from the beginning of time, it's almost like, once you figure it out, whatever it is for that religion, you're supposed to, preach it and share it. But you're not supposed to just outright tell them. You almost, they say, give it to him, but give it to him with a slant. And that sounds
People
to
don't
me
like to be
almost what
told.
you're right. Well, do you? I don't.
No.
You can't tell me how to do
I've got
shit.
kids.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Just try
no
it.
way. Exactly. But is that almost what you're going for there when you say clues? It's like, all right, well, I've figured out this thing, and you can't really just lay it out there for people, but you can give them enough breadcrumbs where the few who are willing to go down that path will find
Yes,
whatever you're leading for them.
I think the what I call the poetry or the songs are the most effective way to really catalyst people into any sort of or movement or understanding of what's out there. But
Is that because you've already, with the music, you've triggered into their heart and soul already, generally?
yeah, well, I really feel like when I've tapped into a song that I've been given, other people recognize it too.
Right.
I
I like the secret there. I like that.
People come up to
Lean
me
in.
after shows sometimes, and it used to be like when I used to contrive my own songs, they'd be like, "Oh, whoa, you're a good guitar player, you're a good singer, like you look cool," or whatever. But now people come up to me and say, were those songs yours or covers?"
Because they're actually hearing what you're putting out now instead of looking at the pieces.
And and it triggers some memory. There's some sort of deep understanding. There's some sort of we talked about evidence being laid still in objects and being accessible in objects. What about sound? Or, around us.
Yeah.
There's stuff stored.
Frequencies.
I think it's in sound. All around us. I mean, we know stuff is stored in light. People see visions of like, deja vu of like stuff in the future. I mean, Einstein talks forever about how light can have residual travel around everywhere. Like, light moves super fast.
I was
Why
going to say,
not sound?
light and time are a little almost interweaved.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one thing about this. I thought I was getting out of hand, so I started reading Einstein and to try to bring me in, but no.
Do you smoke a lot of pot? Are you like really, really deep in that way too? Is that your thing?
You know what? I do.
There's no wrong answer, and you don't have to answer.
On my show Cafe Juan, I do gardening along with music, and I do grow the best homegrown there is. I
have you always? And I'm wondering almost if this enlightenment that you have is part of that, or if it's, you know what I mean. I'm just poking around here, having just met you.
Absolutely. No, I love the question, and by the way, my drummer on the record is Ziggy Marley's a percussionist for 10 years, and he says my weed's the best.
No shit. We've got Ziggy Marley on the It's Tonight Show playlist.
Oh, awesome!
That's very
Get
funny.
out of here.
Yeah, no, true.
Oh, that's great. He'll love to hear that.
I don't remember the song, but I'll play it for you when we're off.
And Ziggy is huge into gardening, by the way, too. Like I am, like the having the vegetables with
She
your
had that
cannabis.
botany story earlier.
What's that?
She had that botany story earlier.
Absolutely. I was listening to that. So for me, it's all part of crafting. My show, I demo new songs along with gardening and cooking,
You're fascinating to me already, and I'm just conscientious of time, so I'm stabbing all over. This isn't like the proper sit down, relaxed. Sorry.
Oh,
if
that's
you're
okay. No, I love it.
Okay.
But I if I looked uncomfortable there, I was trying to remember what we were talking about originally was the marijuana inspiration. I will say this real quickly is that it can be often used as a tool, as a trigger to just take away life's general processes that we talked about. You get stuck on sometimes.
You put the filter on, you can zoom out. But
it's really like dumb. I found out once I really got into songwriting. And I really got immersed into it. They collect around me. The songs collect. Just like someone writing down in their dream journal. They no longer have to write it down all the time. They're there. I found out that the marijuana is like I equate to in my book to Dumbo and the magic feather.
Oh, okay. You Dumbo again. That's
So
twice. That's great.
It's a tool. It really wants
The feather
really,
has
really
no
show-
actual
really
thing,
is
but it
all
shows
around
you.
there. But if I can without synthetically smoking a giant, wonderful, delicious, tangy bowl, unchemicaled bowl from Cafe Juan, but sometimes it's hard to edit and write when I'm too stoned. So it's
No, I love what you're saying, and I agree with you. It helped me open my mind, but I don't need it now to have my mind open.
Exactly. So
all
once
it did
you
was,
know
like,
it's all
unlock it.
there, then and you don't, and if you can manage the other stresses in your life, it's really a lot of it is just kind of self-medication. And I actually found once I started songwriting again, I kicked my heavy drinking.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, we don't drink either.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. Kick my heavy drinking. Good for him.
I
It's
still,
like, I'll still have
I
a
still
beer.
like some good wine or a beer.
Wine,
you know?
Man, you are so fascinating already. What about the Cafe One? Where can people find you on that? It's YouTube, but
Yes.
you go live too? Do you do that live out?
You know
someplace?
what? I used to go live, but I'm not at 1,000 subscribers yet. So I tried to go live yesterday, and I was like, no, I'm nobody. They say I need 1,000 subscribers. So
How close are
If
you?
you guys can please help me get up to
How close are you?
1,000. I'm a long ways away. I'm like under 200.
Oh, who cares? Well, let's just get there. All right, so everybody go
We'll get you
subscribe to
there.
John Juan.
And
Is
I
it
will-
just John Juan on YouTube?
It's it's Cafe Juan.
Oh, Cafe, of course, Cafe Juan.
Cafe
Cafe Juan.
Juan. Yes, thank you, Jay. And we, I try to do. I was inspired by Jordan to try to do everything kind of live. So on my show, the music is all live, and it's all done outdoor lighting.
Oh, wow.
And because people do in such sterile environments with all that, so I like to find a good, well lit spot. We're not even plugged in. Sometimes we're out in nature, just
Love that.
recording. And I'm a lot of the cooking is open fire cooking.
So, having not seen it, is it vlog style? Like Jordan kind of is vlog style. Where
It
he's
is.
Sort of,
It is a bit vlog style, but then some of them we edit a little bit more.
Okay.
To do. So it's not where Jordan's is just straight kind of just guerrilla vlogging.
The camera's in his hand for the most part.
Mine I do some editing and some shots, but all the music's recorded live to 2-track. And it's time stamped.
Such surprising information. I'm allergic to it.
And
Pardon me.
And live to 2-track, and it's time stamped by whatever's being cooked or gardened.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Oh.
of course.
And
it's a real cooking segment, not like all right, and here's the finished product.
And I find myself, not only myself, but other artists, when I have them on, they get a better take because they're not in the headphones overthinking it. They're just doing it. There's stuff going on around them. I put them on the spot when they come in. I don't talk about what we're doing. Like, here we go.
This is the experience. Get on board.
And you like it, and they have the option if they want to reject the take. But I'm like, you get what you get. You don't get upset.
Yeah.
It's live music, and people dig the true aspect of it. Like, I think you guys are really in the true aspect of
Very much so,
Yeah.
pushing the authenticity and just no bullshit. I don't care what you say, as long as it's true or you believe it. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at. We don't have to agree. I mean, you could be somebody who's saying all sorts of things I don't agree with, but can we have a discussion about it? Can we have a dialogue? Because that's what we need to show. That's what I want to show other people is
sort
possible.
of like clash by the end of this interview.
You know what I'm saying, though? There's a bunch of topics we don't go into just because they're all drama. Politics in the world. It's drama right now.
Yeah.
Drama. So we just don't go there.
Oh,
I
you
feel
know-
like all of the other shows and hosts, that's all their shows are. This is a break from all of that. This is a retreat, a respite.
It probably only drama that's going to be there is a little bit. My mom doesn't think the whole pot smoking thing. She's like, oh, she's classic baby boomer, like, you're using.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's pot.
Yeah. She's got
By the way,
Nancy
it's
Reagan
pot.
on her shoulder.
Yes.
Yeah.
The gateway drug.
John,
Right.
stop using the pot. That hit home.
And yeah, absolutely. But I love it as classic. The only person who really has a problem with it is my mom. You know,
That's funny.
It's but everyone else is totally fine with it.
Just staying on the pot for 1 second. Neither one of us were ever pot smokers. We never were into it. We both had tried it a couple times when we were younger. Bad experiences, whatever. Just weren't into it. And then when Mrs. Ryan got sick, and life got turned upside down, as the Fresh Prince would say, it became something that was like, oh well, wait a second. You know, nothing's working. Why not try it at this point? And that's the only thing that she medicates with right now.
Well, I make oils for my my mastering guys.
So like the Rick Simpson oil.
Wife has cancer, and I make products from my garden from all my cuttings for her.
Cool.
Wow.
And you know, and then I make then I have a hippie girl who makes these topical gels, and
we need to stay connected with you because we use all of that stuff.
Yeah.
All of that stuff's what keeps her at this point, at this level.
Oh, I'd love to hook you guys up with a sample from Cafe Juan.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk about it on the show. Get more subscribers over to your YouTube channel.
Oh, wait, I forgot we were talking on the show here.
Hilarious.
That's how comfortable it is.
It really is, guys. Thank you.
Are you
so
enjoying
much.
this? Are you enjoying this process, this little experience here?
Oh, yeah, because, you know, like, I mean, my wife really never asks about me and what I'm doing or my art. You know, it's always like the kids and stuff like that. It's great. It's great talking to some people who are interested in it all.
I love how in the beginning of the show I said, is there anything you don't want to talk about? Which is something we ask everybody just to be safe. And you're like, oh, look, my sexuality. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's saying he's gay. Okay, whatever. And then the first thing you get out here is like, my wife, this. And I'm like, I don't know what he's doing, but I love this guy.
You know, I am trying to feminize myself actually more and more all the time. And I try to do more covers by female artists. And I think it's part of, I think it's important.
I have no issues with it at all. I just felt like I was led down one hallway and then another one, and then neither one. There's nothing down either one.
You know, a conversation with me can be like, what they call that game, two truths and a lie, or
is that right?
Or four truths and a lie. Actually,
Two.
it's actually the most unbelievable stuff I say is all the true stuff.
I believe that. I know that in my heart to be true about you. We didn't really we didn't do it. This is a nice primer. But would you come back sometime? Would you come back sometime soon so that we can do another song? And now that we know you, I can maybe settle down and not bounce around so much because of time and whatever. We could just have a chill conversation. Maybe we can talk about some of that stuff and go pretty deep, maybe, because I know that you've got a believer and you seem to be willing to go there.
Well, you know, I mean, you guys have shown interest in my Cafe Juan. I'll definitely bring some
oh yeah, that's right. That's
for you guys.
I was just asking to get you back for that, of course.
I know that's really just why you why you want to have me back. It's
the
like
moment you said
it's
that,
like
it
that
came out.
Everyone, once they have the Cafe Juan, they always want to see me again.
Well, Ziggy Marley sent me a text and he was like, "Man, this is the..." Just kidding. But there's just so much stuff on here that I was curious about and wanted to get to, and there's not time today. But I would love to do it some other time.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. So you'll come back.
I will.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Great.
Where are you in this part of town? How far
I'm in
are you?
Del Rey. Do you know where Del Rey is? It's like
Yeah.
I used to live in Mar Vista, moved to Del Rey recently. Del Rey's it's kind of Culver City and LA. I've got Culver City mailing address, LA physical address, and I'm on a bastard street. There's no street sweeping.
They came up with that a couple years ago. When I was living in Marina Del Rey on the peninsula is when they sort of started Mar Vista. Mar Vista was kind of a thing at that point. And I feel like, and then we moved to Venice, I think, and now they're sort of moving that same transition down. Like there was Playa Vista. That used to be LA. Now it's Playa Vista. Now your thing, same thing.
But I'm really excited for my garden on my new terroir because it's because it used to be Japanese American farmlands. Right there along that strip, and the soil's amazing.
Have you ever gone and seen the little memorial on? It's at Lincoln and Lincoln and.
I saw
Venice.
There's a cultural center there.
Oh yeah, there's not. There's literally a memorial. From it doesn't matter. World War II. I thought maybe you might have.
No,
you know where
at Lincoln and Rose? You said?
I said that, but I was incorrect. Lincoln and Venice, right across from the street from Deus or Deus Ex Machina. You know,
I'll look for that.
It's literally just a pylon, but it's. I happened to be walking, getting my car serviced. I happened to be walking to the mechanic one day when they were installing it. So I sat there and I read all the things, and it was very interesting talking about the Japanese internment camps during World War II and everything. It was more of a monument and a.
That stuff's so swept under the table.
Yeah, but we had a guest yesterday who called himself a plaque reader. I'm a plaque reader. You know what that is? One who reads plaques. This is just one big plaque, but it seems like it might be up your alley. Highly recommend.
Sure.
Go there and read it.
I will.
I believe you will, too.
I used to
I know
live in
you will.
Japan as a kid, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
And now that I'm in this, now that I'm in this home in the old Japanese neighborhood, I seem to be channeling the old Japanese guy who used to live there before. I do all my gardening in like my sandals and
I love that.
and my pajamas, and I just all day,
There's a big history that people don't really remember after World War II, or after Pearl Harbor specifically. But the L.A. freaked out. LA freaked out because it was like, oh, we're next. You know what I mean? And there was everyone's looking out at the water and everything. Steven Spielberg made a movie about it.
I mean, have you ever driven by the going up to Mammoth, the old concentration camp?
Yeah, I did not stop.
Manzanar. That's
what
it's called.
I don't know, but I've seen the sign for it.
Yeah, it's there.
Crazy.
Really?
I love that we went there to end it. Holy smoke! Sorry about that.
Yep. But it's that's a very interesting topic though.
You're an interesting fellow. Oh my goodness. Let's see. You're on the social media?
I am. I'm on Cafe Juan on Instagram.
What is it? Cafe Juan on Instagram.
And also Cafe Juan on YouTube. Okay. And you'll see my picture. It's an aura picture. Actually, someone took a picture of what my light aura is around me. So if you see that emblem,
love it.
And then then Facebook's going away, but I'm John Juan on Facebook.
Is it going away, or you're going away with the Facebook?
Because
I've been trying.
This is the question the economists want to know.
I know. Are you thinking about deleting your Facebook? I've been thinking about it for like a year, but I haven't done shit.
It's. I think more people are on Instagram, but my Instagram populates directly to my
same thing.
Facebook.
Right? Yeah, it's all an aggregate anyway.
And so it's who knows, but I've had to jump on social media since doing the music thing, and I used to be off it. I used to just be in the older formats and stuff, but I've actually really enjoyed getting communicated with a lot of people I normally. Did you say
getting communicated with?
I
like it.
Is that wrong?
No, I liked it.
Is that
I like it. You catch songs and you get communicated with.
Yeah.
But I love
like
it.
That. Once I think about it, it does work, actually.
Yeah, you're putting yourself in a very passive place where you're open to opportunity. I love that.
And you know what? Everything goes easier and is more fun that way.
Agreed. You're fantastic, but we're going to see you again soon, so I'm not worried about it. Mrs. Ryan, what do we have? Oh, tomorrow's Breakfast Club. Tomorrow's Breakfast Club up at Newcomb's Ranch. Come on up. 9 a.m. Is when they open. We get there around then. Stay till about noon. Saturday is Pelican Parts. Oh my goodness, we'll be out there down at Palos Verdes. I know, Palos Verdes, Pelican Parts. Awesome. And I think that's it. Then that's the weekend. Something on Sunday too, but I don't think we're going to talk about that here. That's it. I love you, Mrs. Ryan.
I love you too.
That's it. Is there anything else? Oh my goodness, I feel like we're wrapping up so quickly. We love you, John Juan.
Oh,
that's a fact, Jack. We love everybody at home. Please love one another, and we will see you all next week, unless tomorrow at Breakfast Club or Saturday at Pelican Parts. Have a great weekend.